Well, hello, nerds. We are back. Like I said, we are doing this week live. So had planned on doing a little bit of research to be a little bit more prepared for tonight, but that is apparently not the case. So, real quick reminder, this has been brought to you by DUBBY. You can see my keyword here in the corner of the screen right there. Generally Nerdy at checkout. The link will be in the description. We are live. So yeah, that's the real quick sponsor. We'll probably touch on that once or twice between now and the end of tonight's broadcast. We will just be doing the news. And yeah, let's get to the news. There it is. All right. So, I think I actually started in the wrong. There we go. I want to start here. We are going to start latest news. There we go. Venom 3 official title and release date. We have Venom The Last Dance, release date on October 25th, it would seem. Still no plot details. Aside from that, that's everything we already know about Venom. Okay, Tom Hardy, blah, 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 blah. Rumor from last week is that this is going to end with Tom Hardy entering the 616. So that could be cool. I don't know how much I believe that, but that could be cool. Backlash to Rebel Moon, blah, I don't care. Batman 2 release date. Oh, buddy, here we go. Release date for Batman 2 pushed back a year. It was learned that Warner Brothers has pushed back the Batman Part 2 release date by a year from October 3rd, 2025 to October 2nd, 2026. Oh, that's no fun. According to trades, the reason for the delay is because of the strikes. They're still blaming stuff on strikes, which took place last year involving blah, blah, blah. Matt Reeves hasn't finished the script yet, apparently. Jeffrey Wright recently chiming in. Speaking with Variety at the end of February, Jeffrey Wright said he hasn't read the script. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end laid out for you, Wright joked. I have not read the script. I've not received the script. I'm waiting patiently, but I'll tell you what. As soon as I get it, I'll call you. I'll send a copy right over to you. The off chance that Matt Reeves hears this, the hairs on the back of his neck are going to stand up. Back in December, it was also said the script hadn't been turned into Warner Brothers brass for approval, so it seems that it's as if Matt Reeves is still working on with Mattson Tomlin, who's supposed to be co-writing the sequel, who helped write the first part. So very interesting. Apparently my internet is just really stupid slow today. That's fun. All right, so here's one of the big ones that we have in the headlines. We have X-Men 97. Oh, it's a writer. That's right. Producer, writer. Bo DeMeo has been fired or quit. We'll find out throughout the course of this article, apparently. In a shocker, week prior to the big premiere on Disney, it's learned that producer and writer behind the highly anticipated X-Men 97 animated series, Bo DeMeo, has been fired. And has it's a little bit of both, apparently. Has been fired from the project and then left Disney Marvel. It's reported Bo DeMeo has been busy working at Marvel as he had completed writing a second season of the X-Men 97 and has ideas for a third. THR even says Bo DeMeo has been lining up press and making plans to attend 97's Hollywood premiere, which he will no longer attend. This is from This is from today. Okay. Today's the 12th. Tomorrow's the 13th. So anyone who's listening in post, this is it's X-Men 97 is available, at least the first episode or two available to watch. Site says that early last week when DeMeo parted ways with Marvel and that his company email had been deactivated and cast and crew were informed he was no longer on the project. Bodemeo has also deleted his Instagram account where the writer-producer was promoting the series with art and answering fan questions. That's the producer that we talked about, I'm pretty sure. The dude who was like really into working out, apparently, according to his Instagram page, as well as answering questions about X-Men 97. THR says that no reason has been given for the firing, and Deadline adds, reason for his departure is not clear, and that Marvel has no comment. Very interesting. Yeah. Sorry, going back. DeMeo also wrote on Moon Knight. I think this is just, now we're just talking about X-Men 97. Okay. So, I don't think he was showrunner, but he was one of the people in charge of what's going on. Michael Keaton says, never say never to Batman Return. Oh, the one thing that was relevant from the Oscars, because the Oscars happened last weekend, so if you watched them, I'm sorry. But one fun thing that I did see come through my Twitter feed, I think, maybe it was on YouTube, I can't remember, was Arnold and Danny DeVito were on stage together, the twins, reunited once again. And they were both recounting their time as Batman villains, and Michael Keaton was like in the front row, and so they had a little back and forth with him. And Michael Keaton didn't break character, didn't turn into whatever the hell that was in The Flash either, so that was pretty cool. But let's just talk about this one real quick, because Michael Keaton as Old Man Bruce could be pretty cool if done better than whatever that was in The Flash. So the article reads, talk of Batman has again turned to Michael Keaton, who says never say never about returning to playing DC's Dark Knight. As I went over, I being the writer of the article, there were big plans for massive DC multiverse, including Michael Keaton sticking around as Batman following The Flash, which included Batgirl and involved Batman Beyond. Though, depending on which rumor you want to talk about, some of the rumors say that Batgirl was going to be replacing, I can't think of, who's Batman Beyond? Why am I brain farting his name? Huh? Oswald? No, Batman Beyond. You can't remember the character's name either? The kid that plays Batman in Batman Beyond. Or that is Batman, I guess. The character that is Batman in Batman Beyond. No, it's not Damon. I can't remember his name either. But it'll come to me, I'm sure, like an hour after we're done streaming. Speaking of, let's go check chat real quick. Nope, nothing yet. Yeah, so... Well, everything changed when Zaslav took over. In a new interview, Keaton was asked if he could still come back. In addition to that surprise Batman appearance at the Oscars, Arnold, there it is, yeah. Keaton appeared on the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, and the topic of the DC's Cape Crusader came up. Horowitz mentioned it was a treat to see him pop up as Batman in The Flash. A little more sad to see Batgirl, and asked Keaton if he had seen the film. No, answered Keaton, but said he saw parts of it. I think it was a done deal. Yeah, we already covered all that. Blah, blah, blah. All developed things. So, oh no. Huh? Terry McGinnis, thank you. Terry McGinnis. Batman Beyond is Terry McGinnis. So, Batgirl was supposed to be, or Barbara Gordon was supposed to be taking over the role of the protege for Bruce Wayne. Instead of Terry McGinnis, we were going to get Barbara Gordon, was what some of the rumors were saying. So, continuing on, let's get to Agatha, now has another new title. All right, so off to a promising start. Apparently changed the title for a 5th time. Agatha, blah, blah, blah. Nope, where is the new title? Is it just Agatha now? Yeah, just Agatha is the new title, it would seem. And there's art for it and everything. I don't care what Agatha's about because I don't know that it's going to do super well. I think that's going to be one of those things that the rumor mongers are talking about getting scrubbed with Deadpool. X-Men, Giancarlo Esposito wants Denzel Washington as Magneto. Giancarlo Esposito again says he wants Denzel Washington as Magneto in the MCU and wants to play Professor X without the wheelchair the character is known for in the Oh, I didn't hear that part when we were talking about those rumors before. Because we talked about Giancarlo Esposito wanting to and rumored to be cast as Professor X. Now he's saying he wants Denzel Washington for Magneto and that he wants to play Professor X without the wheelchair, which means Professor X without powers, because that's kind of how it goes. This is some cool artwork, probably AI. Yeah, that is definitely AI. Look at those fingers, they're just wrong. Yeah, whatever. Marvel's bombs on Disney Plus, even. First Omen, blah. Good Luck Red Sonja reboot. Oscars. Peacemaker. Not DCU. Oh, is not canon for James Gunn's DCU. So does that mean we're soft rebooting Peacemaker with season 2? So the article reads, we finally get some insights into the inner workings of the DCU as James Gunn reveals that Peacemaker Season 1 is not canon to his new universe. Back in January of 23, James Gunn and Peter Safran were announced to be co-heads of the DCU, developing a slate of 5 movies and 5 TV shows, including the new Superman movie starring David Corenswet and Rachel Brosnahan. The DCU is known to be separate from previous DCEU, but Gunn has said certain actors and characters are returning, including John Cena as Peacemaker, Viola Davis as Amanda Waller, and Zola Maridueña as Blue Beetle. Let's hope that the next movie is better, but I still think that Blue Beetle kind of got a lot of bad press. It wasn't terrible, it just wasn't great. And you could totally just get rid of his family from that story, and a large part of the things that were not great about it would go away. Of course, that also means the Peacemaker cast is returning, and it's known Gunn's brother, Sean Gunn, is playing something like 3 characters in the DCU. Yes, that's kind of been his MO for his entire movie-making career. As fans know, the end of Peacemaker Season 1 featured that DCEU Justice League scene, so fans have been wondering how everything is going to fit in with the previous reboot. Gunn fielded questions on Threads. Of course he's doing it on Threads and not on X, because there's not even half as many people on Threads. And less rumor mongers there as well. And there were confirmed that, quote, yes, Peacemaker takes place after Superman. Fan question including Season 1. Gunn replied, Season 1 isn't canon, but no. So there it is in black and white. This straight up. Season 1 is not part of the DCU canon. It is just its own thing, it would seem. It still remains to be seen how everything will be worked out. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? His wife's going to be in it too because she was in Season 1, and we already know all of those characters are coming back, so... Oscar winners don't care, except for Godzilla Minus One. That was cool. Godzilla Minus One takes Best Visual Effects. If you haven't watched this movie yet, you seriously must. Really damn good. All right. Oh, come on, Internet. I believe in you. I believe. Checking stats. Checking stats. Dum, dum, dum. All right. Quantum Media production, absolutely chaotic. Oh boy. Scoop confirmed. Here we go. This is something that piqued my interest, but I didn't read it previous because I wanted to read it with you nerds. DC Scoops continue to be confirmed, as this time James Gunn confirms that Mike DeLuca had a big vision for the DC movie universe. Recall how CosmicBook.news revealed the real ending to the Flash involving DeLuca's plan for the DC movie universe if David Zaslav hadn't interfered. I also, Cosmic Book News also revealed the real villain, which was confirmed by Jay Oliva. The info from the same crew who filled me in about how Marvel is retooling Daredevil, which the Hollywood trades exactly confirmed months later. Regarding what Gunn has to say, a fan on Threads question, always been curious about what specifically about this, but specifically which executive hired you to write Superman around August 2022. Mike DeLuca, of course. Was Superman going to be part of the DCEU, or was it separate like Batman? Always separate, said Gunn. Interesting. Also on Threads, because, of course. Blah. So all of the garbage stuff that we just got to the end of apparently was going to be turned into a proper, bigger universe, still holding that DCEU label. Lindsay Lohan rumored for Marvel. Oh, good Lord, really? Rumors, more rumors. Wild rumor offers that Lindsay Lohan is rumored to be joining the Marvel Universe as a Vixen superhero. Well, it doesn't say specifically who, so that's not lending to its favor. Rumor doesn't say if it's the MCU, as it could very well be also mean the Sony Marvel Spider-Man universe, which recently released Madam Web and is completely different from the MCU. Yes, we know this. Rumor makes it sound as if Lindsay Lohan joining Marvel is a part of the 37-year-old actress's big comeback, which is worth a mention, as it's said to include Disney's Freaky Friday 2, set to film in Atlanta soon. Recently, she starred in Mean Girls, and the most popular Walmart Christmas commercials. I don't think that recently necessarily is a good quantification for when she was in Mean Girls, unless she was in the musical version. I haven't seen the musical version, so I don't know. Don't care that much about Lindsay Lohan's career. Not going to finish that article. Superman. Oh, this one is interesting as well. We're just going to keep the hits a-coming. Super Mario Brothers movie sequel in the works. This was just announced the other day. Following the massive success of Mario Brothers movie, fittingly for Mario Day, Nintendo, right, on May 10th. Or March 10th, rather. May 10th. Listen to me. Nintendo and Illumination jointly announced the sequel, a new animated movie set within the world of the popular character. The details include development on the film is already underway, and the flick will be released April 3rd of 2026. Returning to direct includes Aaron Harvoth, Michael Jelinek, and returning to write is Matthew Fogel. So all of the old crew are coming back. Nintendo and Illumination released a video announcing the news featuring Super Mario star Super Mario creator Shigeru Miyamoto and Chris Meledandri, founder and CEO of Illumination. Wahoo! Nintendo and Illumination are excited to announce production on a new film in continuation of our partnership. This new animated film, based on the world of Super Mario Brothers, is planned to be released on April 3rd. Again, we're just repeating ourselves. Description continues. The film will be produced by all of the things we just read. Broadening Mario's world. In the video, Miyamoto offers a tease of the movie. Oh, there we go. That's the good stuff. Now, for the details of the new movie, as I often say, we'll let you know once we're at the stage where we're ready to share more, he said. It's time. This time, we are thinking about broadening Mario's world further, and it'll have a bright and fun story. We hope you'll look forward to it. That's all for now. Happy Mario Day. I hope everyone did have a happy Mario Day, because that was Sunday. No. Yes? Yeah, Sunday. So that was something that you could celebrate and not the Oscars. Angel Studios, same studio company that did the trafficking movie. I can't think of it right now. Brain fart. Star Wars The Acolyte trailer claimed to be on the way. No. Let's get to The Mandalorian. Let's read that one, shall we? All right. Say goodbye to The Mandalorian Season 4 as it is learned. Plans for a fourth season on Disney Plus have been apparently canceled in favor of the recently announced movie. This is something that we heard in the rumor mill some months ago, that it was not going to get a final season. It was instead going to get a movie. And when the movie was officially announced, we talked about it then as well, that there was the possibility we would not be getting a final season of that show because the movie exists. While it was thought Disney and Lucasfilm would be releasing Mandalorian Season 4 with a shorter season on Disney Plus and then having the movie continue from that, apparently that is no longer the plan. The move makes sense as Mandalorian Season 3 was not well received at all. We can also add that more than likely is a lot more people go see movies than watch Disney Plus, so having a movie continue from Season 4 would come off as confusing and could diminish the theatrical release. That is fair, yeah. Updates via Brendan Wayne. I don't know who Brendan Wayne is. Plays the physical version of the titular character. He's the dude in the suit. Wayne appeared in the Tatooine show on YouTube and was asked if he had signed on for Mandalorian Season 4 or if it's just going to be a movie. He said, quote, "No Season 4. I know that we're doing the movie for sure. That's what I know." Interesting. So that sounds fairly confirmed. Like, if we were doing a regular show right now, I'd probably put this at like 75-80% likely that Mandalorian Season 4 is actually not going to happen. Why do you throw away the foundation that you build? Continue by questioning blah, blah, blah. Unless you're going to abandon streaming, why do you throw away the foundation that you built your streaming on, which is The Mandalorian, he said. And I mean that as humbly as I can say it, but there's a reason The Mandalorian premiered when Disney Plus opened up, and it wasn't because we had this incredible library that everybody wanted to subscribe to. It's because you had a show that was going to bring a character alive, lovely grammar, that we all dreamed of since we watched Star Wars, which was a Boba Fett-like character. That's fair. That is a big part of the initial draw. Should start filming in June, apparently. According to the actor who, Brendan Wayne, who says he got it direct from Jon Favreau. 2026 release, so I really hope they start filming soon. All right, Star Wars, Daisy Ridley script still not finished. No surprise. Disney live-action Bambi possibly canceled. We know that a lot of Disney movies have been quietly snuffed out, if you will. A lot of upcoming Disney movies, though we don't know which ones. Apparently, Bambi is one of the ones on the list. All right, so live-action Bambi movie could be one of those canceled projects mentioned by Disney CEO Bob Iger. The possibility also follows the news of a recent departure with President of Walt Disney Motion Picture Studios, Sean Bailey, who is in charge of Disney live-action remakes. Thank God that guy left. While Bailey saw big success with The Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and The Jungle Book, the live-action adaptation of The Little Mermaid failed miserably. I don't know if I would say miserably, but definitely failed. Likewise, the Disney Plus Pinocchio movie massively bombed. Yeah, everybody hated that one. And the same for The Lady and the Tramp. I didn't even watch that one. Critics don't really matter, but when you have a streaming service that aims to please the subscribers and they don't like the content, then you have major problems. That is true. Live action Snow White delayed by a full year. We already know that. Bambi loses director Sarah Polley. Regarding Bambi, which is supposed to adapt the beloved 1942 American animated drama film from Disney, it's reported the live-action remake has lost its director, Sarah Polley. According to the trades, there is no drama, but it's said that things didn't simply work out. Well, of course, they're not going to work out if Bambi is canceled. Updated for modern audiences. More red flag vocabulary. Superman and Lois final season. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey tops Razzie Awards. Of course it does. Films season 2 films this summer. Announces Jennifer Holland. Sony and Madam Web producers mad at Dakota Johnson over comments. Of course they are. Oh, Millie Bobby Brown's Damsel has a Rotten Tomatoes score, which is audience liked it, critics did not. Kind of makes sense. Too childish and shallow for adults. Some of the negative reviews, yet too brutal and gory for kids. This is one damsel that really does need saving after all, says Empire Magazine. Oh boy. Get past the clunky computer-generated environments, you may be moderately entertained by the story of a girl trying to survive the elements and the threat of a hungry dragon. The Observer. Boy. So yeah, critics did not like Damsel. Surprise, surprise. First look by Jared Leto, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, this is all stuff we have already covered. Let's go to Bounding. Let's see what they got for us. Blah, blah. Proudly bragging previous title, Validate had no white people on dev team. Oh, boy. Sony reportedly furious with Madam Web star Dakota Fanning for repeatedly disparaging the film during promotional tour. Yeah, that's probably a good reason to be mad at her. Red Sonja. Ripaverse. Hey, let's talk about some comic book news that's not garbage. Continuing their taking of the indie comic scene by storm, Eric July's Ripaverse has officially opened a pre-order campaign for their next original series. Yara, I believe, is how that would be pronounced. Article's author holds a personal friendship with Ripaverse creative manager Andrew Rodriguez, so it's going to be a little biased. Spinning out of her debut appearance in July's Isam Volume 1, Number 1, the upcoming Yara Volume 1, Number 1 will follow the eponymous heroine as in defiance of Alpha Corps leader Brian Solari's order that she take her rebellious attitude and remove herself from the city in service of its citizens safely. She makes her way back to Floorspark in search of answers regarding a returning threat from her past. So if you're reading Ripaverse, then you've got a lot more reading coming up. That's pretty cool. Interesting. All right, moving on. Don't want to get all into the details of everything that the story is, because then why read it? Dungeon Dragons senior game designer disavows how series was made by quote-unquote white dudes, boasts that much of original material quote, would never pass our inclusivity reviews today. Oh, dear Lord. Like, all right, so here's the thing about D&D. D&D's been probably one of the most inclusive nerd activities possibly throughout like history of being nerdy. Because everyone I've ever known who played D&D is always willing to accept whoever wants to come play, because it's kind of hard to find people that want to sit down and spend 3 hours a night playing through a campaign that could take you 6 months. Like, it's just, so if anyone was, it didn't matter gender, sex, color, any of that. Just mattered, hey, do you want to play Dungeons and Dragons? Do you want to go pretend to be something from Tolkien-esque universe for a couple hours a week? Like, there's it's so dumb. I don't even care to read the details about it because that's enough from the headline. I'm sure somebody somewhere is going to have something to defend that headline, but like why does it matter who made it as long as it's as inclusive as humanly possible? And there's always been multiple races and multiple. Oh, that's just okay, fine, fun. You guys go have fun making a game that nobody wants to play. James Gunn continues to confuse DC Studios' plans. Confirms Peacemaker Senior one. We already talked about that. Sydney Sweeney. Blah. Final Fantasy Tactics. Mainstream press. Video game devs come out in full force to run defense for Sweet Baby Incorporated. So for those of you that don't know, Sweet Baby Incorporated is like a consulting firm that a lot of game studios have hired to come in and help them write scripts for their games in order to make them more inclusive. And that's apparently gone pretty haywire. I mean, look at most of the AAA releases over the course of the last couple years. Christopher Nolan has one regret about the most famous line from The Dark Knight. What? Why so serious? You either die the hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. The reason is surprising and simpler than you think. I'm plagued by the line in Dark Knight because I'm plagued by it because I didn't write it. Oh, interesting. Jonathan Nolan wrote it. Okay, cool. Mystery solved. Moving on. And I think we're already into territory that we have covered in the regular show. Zack Snyder reveals MPA rating board wanted to give Batman v Superman an R rating because they didn't like the idea of two superheroes fighting. That's stupid. Okay, let's give the Snyder Sans something to trying to defend. Here we go. So, read the title. Justice League director Zack Snyder slams the concept of respecting canon. Quote, "You're protecting your God in a weird way," unquote. To the surprise of absolutely no one, after all, this is the same man who thought Ezra Miller playing a dollar store Peter Parker was a perfect representation of Barry Allen. A little bit of editorializing there, but okay. Former DCEU architect Zack Snyder has admitted that he has no love for the concept of character canon. Obviously, did you watch Man of Steel? Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, and original Justice League director offered his thoughts on the topic, making headline appearance in the 2114th episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, which is now on the YouTubes. That's some stuff. I think we talked about that originally. His contract changed, so Joe Rogan is now on Spotify, but also back on YouTube with all of his new episodes. And Spotify is just going to be taking all of the ad revenue and then paying him his contracted income. So that's how they're making up the difference. They get all of the ad revenue, and he just gets his flat, whatever it was, $250 million or whatever. So yeah, go watch. I mean, it's been up for a little while at this point. Pressed by the show's eponymous host for his reaction to the more heavy levels of scrutiny in his DC films have received from comic book fans, Snyder opined, "That's a lifestyle choice for a lot of people. It's not a movie. If I made a romantic comedy, you'd be like, okay, that was fun," explained the director. "The people who love, and by the way, I love that they feel this passionately. In no way would I criticize that because I lived the same life." No, you don't. Because for me, it's morning, noon, and night. But for those guys, it's not just a movie. And so you have to, on some level, acknowledge that this is their religion. They feel strongly about it. And the truth is, it's my religion too. Then why do you make such bad DC movies? Like, I really like his Watchmen. Like, say what you will about me for that, but I think his Watchmen is an interesting addition to the comic book because of the ways they differ. Because his ending was, like, the enemy is the elephant in the room, whereas in the comic book, the enemy is the unknown. So it's just two different philosophical questions. What if the weapon goes off that you know exists? And the other question is, what if something from outer space comes and takes us all out? Like, those are two very different philosophical questions, and I think it's a really cool addition to the conversation around that idea. But everything else he's done comic book wise has been really subpar. Like, production wise, it's fantastic, but just Batman using guns, and like for no reason, because there's the one scene in Batman v Superman where I think it was the first time you see a gun in Batman's hand, and he's shooting a tracking device onto the side of this truck that he then follows anyway. So why did you have a tracking device? Whatever. We've beaten this one into the ground. Anyway, let's get back to the article, shall we? Turning to the grievances fans have had with his darker, more brutalistic take on DC's roster of superheroes, Snyder's then admitted, I tend to get in trouble because I do take a deconstructionist view because of The Dark Knight Returns, because of Watchmen. If you've read those two comics, it's hard to go back, and it's because I care that I want to take them apart. So a deconstructionist view is not what you're doing. A deconstructionist view would be what Alan Moore does with these characters. Deconstructionist view would be like, there's any number. Frank Miller has done that to a certain degree. He does name drop The Dark Knight Returns. Very obviously, Watchmen is a deconstructionist view, but you're not deconstructing the deconstruction. You're bastardizing, in the case of Dark Knight Returns, the deconstruction. Like, again, I think his addition to the Watchmen is valid, but that's the only validity that he has added to this. People are always like, Batman can't kill, it's canon. He explained of his creative philosophy, and I'm like, okay, first thing I want to do then, when you say that, is I want to see what happens. What? And they go, well, don't put him in a situation where he has to kill someone, Snyder continued. And I'm like, you're just protecting your God in a weird way. You're making your God irrelevant if he can't be in that situation. He's been in that situation plenty of times in the comic book, so he's making an invalid point. And he's gotten away without I mean, yes, you can go through the 10 times that Batman killed because of some secondary thing, or when he left KG Beast locked in a basement for like a week or something, and didn't tell anybody for a week. Like, yeah, that happened, sure, but it's not the same. There's no death on the page due to Batman's desire. He hasn't wished someone dead and then made it so. Like, yes, it's been through negligence, and it's been through, well, I don't have to save you kind of mentality once or twice, sure, but still, by and large, generally speaking, majorly speaking. Anyway, I can't stand up to. Can he survive that as a god, as your god? Following the brief detour in which he took a moment to offer praise to Frank Miller's deconstruction of the Dark Knight in the aforementioned Dark Knight Returns comic book series, Snyder then affirmed, that's where, like, Frank Miller takes Batman and just tears him in half, and you've got to now come out on the other side of that, and Batman is still the hero. Yeah, and Frank Miller did a kind of amazing job of it. Twice. Batman still does the right thing, director noted. He mains his code, his ethics. He doesn't change, but, like, our perception of him changes. Is that what? I don't know if that was the point of The Dark Knight Returns. But okay. To this end, drawing his thoughts on canon to a close, Snyder then argued, but a lot of the fandom, who I feel have gotten to the same place I have with the characters, where they need to test them, because Batman isn't tested enough in every story arc that he's involved in. Okay. I feel like the character, it's been my experience that the characters have not let us down, said the Rebel Moon creator. These myths have not let us down. You put them to the ragged edge and into that scenario, and they come out on the other side, and you're like, yeah, there's a reason why Superman is Superman. He can handle it. He can effing take it because he's so iconic. Oh, wow. Only that little bit of editorializing? Interesting. Bounding into comics, you usually have another 3 pages of why Zack Snyder is so full of crap. I don't know if I'm proud or sad. Gotta get back to where we were. Okay. If Wright has not read the script, we know this. Opinion reason Chris Hemsworth keeps picking such terrible roles is self-declared feminism. Yes, probably. Madam Web started because Slam Creed, blah, 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 blah. New clip of Godzilla X Kong. Marvel comic exec Tim Brevoort doubles down on belief that for the X-Men, the message is the concept. Writes off all those who disagree with him, term woke in their criticism as cretins. Is that a black Wolverine? I don't. It's too much identity politics. I don't care. Like, just give me good stories. Stop giving me a bunch of garbage. How about that? Okay, let's get some music going. Blabbermouth is a great place to add. Blabbermouth? Do we want to go there? We want to go to Metal Injection. Might have something a little bit more fun though. Because they always have these silly articles. Or maybe it's Loudwire, and I can never remember. I think Slipknot released some sort of tease about their new drummer, if I'm remembering correctly. Should we just go to the clown thing and hope that's it? Interview with Knotfest Australia, M. Sean Crahan, aka Clown, revealed new music is coming in 2024 alongside some possibly very small shows. Oh my goodness. As transcribed by Metal Injection. No. I don't know. I want the tease of the drummer. Blue Ridge Rock Festival is coming back this year. Oh, this should be interesting. I agree with you, Metal Injection. Despite a disastrous 2023 where nothing actually happened. Still under investigation by the Virginia Department of Health for what happened at the Blue Ridge Rock Festival. But it does appear to be coming back for this year. Cabal, Born Anew, and Float Omen. I only know Cabal. Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats? Nice. I like that one. That's a fun name. Fallujah announces Flesh Prevails anniversary tour. Oh, Dillinger Escape Plan is expanding their reunion shows. They still aren't coming my direction, but they are going apparently to Chicago now. Chicago, Illinois, world is a beautiful place, and I am no longer afraid to die. And No Men are who is going to be on the bill with them. Oh my goodness. Callous Cowboys have been added to 2 of the Brooklyn shows. That's awesome. 622 at the Paramount. Callous Cowboys and Dead Guy. And 623 at the Paramount in Brooklyn. Car Bomb, Callous Cowboys, Dead Guy, and a band called Candy that I don't know. Very awesome. That's pretty amazing, honestly. Whenever I'm trying to tell anybody about the Callous Cowboys, I always say they are the slightly more artsy younger brother of the Dillinger Escape Plan. So that's pretty amazing that they're going to be on the same bill as the Dillinger Escape Plan. That's pretty freaking awesome. Baroness announces European tour dates. Glassing? I don't know who Glassing is. That's an interesting name. Eisengeist. Bend the Knee. I did listen to the entirety, finally, of the new Job for a Cowboy record the other day, and it's pretty great. It's shorter than anticipated, but yes, fan-freaking-tastic. If you have yet to listen to that and you like the heaviness, there we go. There's the Slipknot thing we're looking for. Then, yeah, Moon Healer is the name of the record. It's fantastic. Slipknot has been awfully quiet about who's replacing Jay Weinberg on drums, but one thing's for certain. They've got someone. So let's check this out if we can. I don't know if I'm signed into Instagram on this browser. Oh, I am. That's the only image, really. That's it. That's all we get. Fine. Posted a video of a photo of a broken drumstick on their social media. Oh, hey, let's read the article, and then maybe we don't have to click the link, huh? With a caption, rehearsal, indicating that they've got at least a new drummer lined up for live shows. No, that doesn't indicate anything because Sean plays the drums and Tortilla Man plays the drums. So why would that indicate that they've replaced Jay? I mean, they very likely have replaced Jay, but yeah, that doesn't really say that. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. No, indicating blah 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 blah. No word on if it's Eloy Casagrande, like we talked about a couple weeks ago. Now that he's split from soon-to-be broken-up Sepultura, be pretty funny if Casagrande joined Slipknot, seeing as he'd be taking Weinberg's place, who took Grayson Necrutman's place in Suicidal Tendencies, who took Casagrande's place in Sepultura. Oh, I did not put that together previously. That's funny. Musical chairs, but for professional drummers, literally musical thrones. Ghoul. I don't know. Ghoul. Isan. I'm not going to listen to new music in the live stream. It does not go over well. Trent Reznor reflects on Downward Spiral turning 30 years old. I am old. It is official. Subtitle anniversary show. We already talked about that. Dark Tranquility, Flesh God Apocalypse, Crown Shift. Oh, here's the big one. The big piece. It's actually kind of two pieces because touring news and Marilyn Manson news. So follow-ups and tours is where we're covering bases here. But Five Finger Death Punch is taking Marilyn Manson and Slaughter to Prevail on tour with them. That's pretty freaking huge. That headline, again, Marilyn Manson is going out on tour in spite of all of his legal troubles recently. Actually, probably because of all of his legal troubles recently. He's getting back into the musics. So we have a whole bunch of dates. All big, big venues. So if you have not yet seen Slaughter to Prevail in a little tiny place, you might have just lost your chance for a while because it looks like they're probably going to be doing a lot of... Actually, no, they also are going on tour with somebody smaller that they're headlining, so that'll be after the Five Finger tour, I believe. Burton C. Bell's new solo. Hey, hey! We're not gonna watch the video. Oh, Anti-Droid. That's why that was in my suggested, and that's why that face kind of sort of looks familiar, is because it's Burton freaking Bell. Vocalist Burton C. Bell has finally launched his post-Fear Factory solo career with with the single Anti-Droid. Lyrics like "I severed the machine that no longer served me, and I'd rather be dead than slave to the factory." Oh boy, yeah, I feel like that's not very subtle there, Burton. I wonder if this is pointed towards any of his former coworkers. Well, it would definitely seem so, wouldn't it? Starting my solo career, Bell said enthusiastically, I'm working with different producers and co-songwriters making music that I love, in full control of the music and creative direction. Bell continued saying, the song is, quote, a statement about breaking free, breaking the bonds of what I felt was a prison in many ways, not just financially or contractually, but creatively as well. Felt constrained to this format we'd written ourselves into. The factory doesn't have a capital F. It's the factory of music industry, a certain form of business and priorities. Being a slave to an establishment way of thinking is not really freedom. I am moving forward, he says. Just because you didn't, it's like, whether or not it's consciously taking a stab at his former bandmates. It's at the very least subconsciously taking a stab at his former bandmates. Maybe he wrote it when that was the thought, and now he's like, maybe I should walk these feelings back a little bit, because I've already exercised those demons when recording and creating this track. That would seem a little bit more logical than just, oh no, this absolutely has nothing to do with what it is very obviously talking about. Stay tuned for more Bell solo stuff, which I'm hoping is more of this down-tempo industrial heaviness. Ooh, I really want to listen to this now. Stay tuned for next week's show, because we're probably going to talk about this in the new music section, because I'm a dummy. It came out last week. I could have put it in, I think I could have put it in last week's show. And I honestly don't care enough to do all of that legwork this very second, but it will be worked out by next week's regular show. That's kind of cool. I'm super excited about listening to that track, not gonna lie. Devil Wears Prada streams catchy new single, huh? Oh, boys. What is it? Song co-produced by Tyler Smith and Zach Cervini. With Ritual is the name of the new song. Oh, right there. Ritual. Yeah. That'll probably be in next week's new music section as well. Boom. Let's do this, Trent. Oh, Ginger's releasing a live album. Interesting. It's interesting when more extreme bands release live music, because then you can compare to the recorded performance and see how much of what they're doing on stage is to a track. I don't think necessarily that what Ginger's doing has much backing tracks to it, but I would be surprised if there was zero. I think those dudes are super freaking talented, though. Escuela Grind tour manager issues a statement on allegations. Yeah, we haven't been covering that, so we're not going to get into it now, because it's really like soap opera nonsense, like whatever. I think that's about what we've got for music right now, nerds. I mean, obviously, if this were a regular show, there would be quite a bit more news, because there is a fair amount here. It's just going to take a little bit of sifting through poop in order to get to that Earthburner, Broken Hope, Sanguisugabog, etc. What a supergroup, Broken Hope, Sanguisugabog. Lots of new music for next week. Let's do one more expansion, see if there's anything in here that really catches the eye. Otherwise, it's mostly just new music. Yeah, and there's that. Now we're into places we have already covered as of last week. If you haven't checked out that new Higher on Fire track, it's amazing. You seriously must. Watch either video. If you don't like AI, watch the studio video. Let's see. No, we don't do that on stream, just because we got this covered as way too much garbage to sift through in a live situation. I think that's just kind of where we're gonna call it there, nerds. I mean, we've been going for just over an hour. What does OBS say? Just under an hour, 58 minutes. So yeah, it's an hour's worth of news right there. We will be returning for a regularly scheduled show next week. Let's get to this so that you can see me better. Oh, hi. So yeah, we will be returning next week for a regularly scheduled show. Oh no, where's the thing? There's that thing, and then there's a whole nother thing that I was supposed to have in here that is not here, so I'm just going to ramble for a moment. And while I try and find it, because what? No, where did it go? There we go. That's nope, that one. Yay! Oh, okay.
Get over here!
Oh, and it's loud, and it's not. There we go. That's your reminder to subscribe. I'll have it better next time we go live because it's probably going to be a little while before we go live again. So, housekeeping as far as everything goes. Today was a live show. Next week we'll be back to regular stuff, and also next week is going to be a little bit of a longer shout out show, as well as that just happened. Dune is a thing we're going to spend a lot of time talking about, I'm sure, on that just happened, because I've now seen it twice, and yes, please and thank you. And yeah, we didn't get to it this week. I have my notes for this week's show. I just never actually filmed this week's show because scheduling has just been kind of a little bit difficult. So there's that. There's the things and the stuff. Don't forget about the sponsor for today's video, DUBBY. Honestly, have been drinking it every day almost since I got the tub, just to kind of put it through the steps, and I dig it. Just like any other powder-based energy drink, it is a little there's a little bit of the powder that finds its way into your drink throughout the life of the drink. They are working on cans, if I remember correctly, but nothing as of yet has been developed, so stay tuned for that as far as DUBBY goes. But legitimately, it is cheaper than if you're buying your energy drinks at the gas station every day. Buy yourself a tub of DUBBY, and it will go a long way. Just 2 scoops in your shaker, 24 ounces, 2 scoops of the powder, and it's tasty. My next flavor, because right now we're drinking the fruit punch. Next flavor I'm going to be drinking is their cream. They have an orange cream flavor that I'm very intrigued by, so that's going to be the one that I order once the fruit punch is gone. But that push and punch is yummy. Anyway, so that is all of the housekeeping and everything. Thank you very much, nerds, for joining me. We will see you again next week, but before we go, always remember that if it's generally nerdy,